drop kicking you if I ever meet you, Cole. Number 4.
I don't think you can. He's like 10 inches taller than
drop
you.
kicking you, whatever.
You're gonna miss, bro.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
You
So
don't have the
number
reach
4.
advantage, bro.
Hey, don't talk about his weight like that. He's lost a lot of weight. He's done a good job.
No, not that kind of reach.
Nothing was used with Athena reach from Smite.
Or reach
No
around.
one's doing that. No, stop! Stop it!
The human range of hearing is 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Welcome back to the Even Though Nobody Asked podcast. My name is Nestani.
I am Jaxler.
I am DECosmic.
I am Cole_02.
And today, I wanted to start off by bitching about a concept, and that is, why the fuck do you pay for TV just to watch ads?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
You know.
Surely, you're not paying to watch ads. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I can surmise is that you pay for the network to broadcast it. You don't pay for the shows to be
Me
made
and
or
Cole both
anything.
looking at his window, by the way. Sorry.
That was crazy.
We both were
It was like a car light, I'm pretty sure. But I was like,
Something like that, yeah.
Oh,
sorry. Oh, what is this? 1980? Like, who's what? Like, come on.
that's what I'm saying, bro. I pay.
Well, the thing is
I
that
give YouTube
we are
$15 and
now-
I don't watch ads. Why do I give TV networks like 70 and then I watch ads? They're just getting so much money.
I would assume it just because the production values are a lot higher because like the people have
Are they
to.
though?
I don't know. Have you seen
I mean-
MKBHD?
Have you seen Mr. Beast?
No, actually.
Have you seen Coley_02?
Well, I mean the production values for maintaining a website as opposed to maintaining like a network show and like paying writers and everything like that. I'm just saying.
It could also just be like, you know, back when television
Batman.
started, it made sense for ads to exist, but now it like doesn't. You know what I mean?
See, I don't actually know
Like,
when
it's
the
just a
first
thing.
commercial aired. That's the problem.
I should know this. I feel like I know
Google.com.
this.
When
Yeah, what is
did
it?
the first commercial
The first
air? I spelled
commercial
none of the words
air.
correct. It's going to be fine. 1914.
I did. It's
1914.
1914.
There
Wow,
was
that was-
TV back then?
Yeah.
That
Black and
was
white.
that is pretty crazy.
Black and
What?
black.
That's the
I bet
first.
the screen was like the size of like
that's the
like
first
this.
commercial
Like,
air
that's it.
flight, Nestani.
I mean, to be fair, your screen's the size of that today, so.
Did you just say the first commercial air flight?
He did the first commercial air flight. The first TV commercial aired on July 1st, 1941.
This sucks.
during
Yeah,
the-
1914,
during
the
a
first
baseball
commercial.
game.
That's when it
Oh
happened.
god.
Oh my
There's
god.
no misinformation being spread
Oh
here.
my goodness.
There's
Well,
nothing
you know-
else being spread here either.
Good. I'm glad that everything we say is factual and true,
True.
Yeah.
which is the
I'm
case. So
also
don't even go
very
looking up
about
your own stuff, people.
People have been saying this. Just believe me. Smile.
Yeah. Like I'm glad that we all pay $15 for YouTube Premium and never use an ad blocker because ad blockers are bad. Don't use
Yeah,
ad
apparently,
blockers.
Well,
apparently
it's just for your
advertising
phone. It's just
revenue.
annoying. That's why I do it, because I watch 90% of YouTube on my
Yeah.
phone and not on my computer. But you can do the
I
thing.
was just
Fun
making a joke
fact,
about the ad
everyone
blocker shit.
that loves to not watch ads on YouTube. I don't know if this still works today, but back in the day, before I paid for YouTube Premium, which is like literally 2 or 3 years ago, it's pretty recent that I started paying. But if you skip to the end of the video and then watch the last ad and then rewind it, you don't have any ads for the whole video. Now, what I will say though is that YouTube Premium is just way better because you actually legitimately save so much more time than you would think.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
why
the
I
same
pay
with
for it.
like Twitch Turbo, right? You just don't spend nearly
Well, I
as
just don't
much
get
time
ads on Twitch.
watching.
I don't know why, by the way, but I just don't get
Yeah,
ads.
you got so
You're
lucky.
quite lucky.
Like, I don't know
I
if
know.
it's because I've just had Amazon Prime forever, because before, if you had Amazon Prime, you just don't get ads. But like,
Yeah,
I'm pretty
I mean, that
sure
was
they
the
took that
thing.
away, but I still don't
did.
get ads. Is it just because
That's
I'm
so weird.
grandfathered in? Because I've been paying for.
Well, I've had Amazon Prime forever as well, so I should be grandfathered in.
Hey, you're in the
Are you
inner
not?
circle, Nestani.
Yeah. No, I'm
Oh,
not.
get
I've,
fucked.
I've had to pay for Twitch Turbo. You're just an exception to the rule.
Yeah, I don't know.
suppose.
I've literally
Dude,
never gotten a Twitch ad in my
God.
entire life logged into my account.
That is
Wow.
must be
That's crazy.
Dude,
quite
now it's
nice.
like if I want to watch good old DECosmic on twitch.tv/DECosmic or Jaxler1 on twitch.tv/Jaxler1.
Was neither good nor old.
I have to watch. It's like I have to watch like a whole minute of ads just to enter the stream, and then like if there's a mid roll, it's like, well, I'm
And then in like 10 minutes, you get hit with the mid roll. Yeah.
Yeah, and that mid roll is like 5 ads back to back, like fucking me in the ass. It's like, what's going on? I'm not watching a Twitch stream.
So
it's ridiculous.
My thing too is like, I think even if you're non-affiliated, they can still run ads on your channel, correct?
Yes, they changed that recently.
Yeah, so because
I don't think they run that many.
Yeah, I was considering like de-affiliating and then getting people to like donate or do something else, like some
there
other
was
way.
more
Not
value in that
necessarily donate,
before.
but tip or whatever, but like Patreon it up or whatever. But then when I found out that they run the ads anyway, I was like,
I was gonna say,
I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I did that for like a year.
So I just never did it.
Personally, I dropped my affiliate for like a year or so.
Yeah.
Just so people didn't have ads on my stream, and then I got it back.
Yeah, it doesn't help that like
mainly because they changed it back. So man,
Twitch traffic is just down recently anyway. So, like I was very close for a long time to partner. I was, I think on average when I streamed the games that I was known for, it was like 50 plus viewers or whatever. Not
so
really
many numbers, just stacking them.
But
up.
Dude, I like
never seen this guy below 20
to like
viewers.
seeing like.
You haven't seen me streaming like a casual playthrough on a weekday.
Well, I mean, you're trolling if you're doing that. But if you're speedrunning, I've never seen you below 20. I mean, like, hey, we're not going to talk about Frog Monster, but like, he ain't pulling with Frog Monster, but he'll pull with anything else. I'm just saying, the other day he was playing Vex for like a while. I was watching Vex, and then he switched to Frog Monster, and I exited the stream. Not because I was just going to bed, and so I was leaving regardless. But
that's crazy, bro.
All right,
wow.
We'll let it pass this time. But yeah, I mean, I used to pull like 50 plus, like playing Devil May Cry, and now it's like I'm lucky if I crack 40 during like the peak of the stream and stuff.
Yeah, you're normally a 35 averager when you're DMCing up. 35 to 40.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I'll be doing that more, as I get.
Not that I'm pocket watching or anything, but
doing stuff. Oh, you definitely are. So
I just like keeping track of people's viewer counts in my head, and so then when something is off about it, I'm like, what is happening? Like, are they super trolling their stream, or did they get rated? Like, I know that if Jax has 200 viewers, he got rated by GDQ, and I need to get in there. You know what I mean?
I need to get in there.
Well, because I'm a mod, so
actually,
like, I get in there to lurk just in case. Blah 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 blah. You have more traffic, but.
I actually need to submit to Hotfix too. That reminds me of that.
Yeah, you need to fix it up.
It's true. I do. Yeah. I mean, I also am gonna do like a run of all the original Japanese releases of Devil May Cry 1 to 3 on PS2 this weekend, so that should be fun.
Is that going to include the Japanese version of Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights?
Unless Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights is a Devil May Cry game, I'm going to say
people have been saying that it is.
I don't think anyone's been saying this, bro.
Damn.
The closest thing that Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights could be to a Devil May Cry game is if it was secretly Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge.
Banger game, by the way.
That's what I hear. Yeah, it seems like a pretty.
That
cool
was a
game.
deep cut. I didn't understand.
I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But to be fair, Cole, for normal people like us, none of us ever understand any of the game references that these two make. So
probably true. Probably true.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Oh yeah, did I?
Hey man, your whole hold on. Your whole branding is I want to go find games that no one knows or I've forgotten about, and then play them and be so cool and hip. Like that's your whole thing. Of course, people don't know. You're trying to do that.
The nice way to phrase it is that in the Twitter bio, you say runner of XYZ and other games you've never heard of.
Yeah, that is true.
So
I just don't like Nestani's fucking attitude.
The mocking voice,
tone of voice. Yeah.
The mocking voice, yeah.
I don't like
not to
these
be confused
hand
with the
motions that he's
Mockingbird,
doing.
the book. It's shit book, by the way.
Oh boy.
To Kill a Mockingbird?
Yeah. Shit
That's
book.
that's a fucking great book. What are you talking about?
Shit. Well, it's not shit. It's just mid. But it's funnier if I say it's shit.
I quite enjoyed it freshman year of high school.
Did I tell you guys that there was finally a dude at work that was shorter than me today?
Congratulations, Mithy Moo. Congratulations.
Nobody
Congratulations.
He was there to cover the branch because we had a couple of call outs. I didn't realize
How can he cover it? Is he so
Yeah, I was gonna say if he was tall enough to cover it.
Well, what I was gonna say is like I was walking
see
to
over
go,
the
I was
desk,
walking to the
or-
break room. Barely. So fortunately we have seats you could sit in, so we could get up
Oh, do you
there
need like a
closer.
booster seat? Like,
Well, technically the tower
Yeah, like a
line
car
kind of
seat on like the little.
What the heck?
Got little armrests on it.
Whenever he gets into the car, he has those like wooden like feet like poles, and then just pushing down the gas.
Oh, like Indy Jones. Yeah.
I was walking to the break room, right? And this dude walks out of the break room, and I'm so stunned by like how small he is. I was like, this guy looks like somebody zoomed out, dude. Like,
That's
I
hilarious.
was like,
Like when you're just on your phone and you just did
well,
it two
like I
fingers
was.
and zoom
The
out.
thing is that I was on my phone, and I barely had to
field
lift
of
my
view.
head to see his face. Was the deal? Like I was just this. Like when I'm looking down at somebody because of height stuff, like that.
Yeah,
person's shit.
we know.
Like-
we know how much you love looking down on people, Cosmic. We know. Hey.
No, I don't.
One
Not very-
opportunity you get, we know you enjoy it very, very much.
Oh God, good grief.
Speaking of looking down on people, I didn't have a segue.
Yeah.
Honestly, I
Yeah.
started the sentence and I was like, I hope that I find something. I didn't. So
Yeah.
I was just holding on to that joke for a while, so I was like, yeah, I got to bring this up. So now I'm good.
Did you
I
bring
got
it up
that
or
out
did
of
you
my-
bring
Got
it
it out of
down?
your system.
Yeah, I got it out of my system. Yeah. Yeah.
How tall are you again?
I'm like
Just like
5'7" or something. Yeah, probably 5'7", 5'8". I don't know.
5 foot.
I like how I
-3 or something
just
like
guessed
that.
and I was like somewhat correct.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't really know anymore. I need to fucking measure myself, but I'm pretty sure
No, you
I'm pretty sure I'm not any taller than like
You don't.
5'8".
We get a
5'9".
general idea.
Yeah, it's true. I'm sure.
From a vibes basis, we have a general idea of your.
What are we measuring?
My cock. So,
Ooh,
Whoa,
yummy.
the other thing-
No one is saying yummy.
I like this
Nobody-
topic.
I
one is
like
saying
this
it.
topic. Is crazy.
I dislike this topic. It's someone else's cock. It's way less interesting.
What?
Anyway.
What?
All right.
Next topic.
Yeah.
Next topic. Let's keep it running. Let's keep it running.
All
So
right.
what did
Oh,
you
well.
say, Mr. Jack? we just sit on
Let's
it.
go back to that. Yeah.
Let's go back to the TV thing. 'Cause,
Speaking
like,
of sitting
I feel
on
like,
it,
Yeah.
Oh, the TV thing.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I mean the thing is that ad revenue in general is what pays a significant portion of like the production
Everything
costs
in
for,
life.
Yeah, pretty much, and that's kind of why like it's one of those things where the profit margin essentially is just higher if people pay to have the TV. Well, I think the thing too is that the internet provider at this point is what broadcasts it, but the networks themselves are what provides it to the cable companies, and it's kind of like this big middleman thing that goes on. So, but I mean, we got out of that by getting into streaming services, and for a while, you remember, like a lot of people were saving on their cable bills by just having Netflix or whatever, and then eventually everybody decided to tell everybody and their mom to just stop their cable stuff and then get Netflix. And then a bunch of other companies were like, why are we paying Netflix to, or why are we selling our stuff to Netflix to get onto their service? We could just
our own service.
use our own stuff and, make our own services. So
and
now, a lot
there's
of that.
50,000 streaming services.
Yeah. And a lot of them are getting
I remember there was
packaged
all that
together like cable. So we sort of get wrapped around.
Yeah,
Well, dude,
life is a
it's
flat
stupid.
circle.
Like, if you think ads on cable is just a stupid idea, because the whole point is that like there's still like TV you get with an antenna, which the whole like feedback is like, yeah, if you have an antenna, we'll send it out to the airwaves for free, but to compensate, we're gonna have ads. And then it's like, okay, but if you're paying for cable and then you have to have ads on top of that, that's just stupid. That's just stupid.
Yeah,
TV.
I'm just getting
And
robbed.
people in the 80s are stupid and they wanted to see their MTV or whatever.
True.
And
Dumb as bricks.
fuck them. And
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know if this is a weird thing to say or not, but ads don't work on me. They don't apply to me.
They do
Every
sometimes.
Every ad I get on, like, if I see a YouTube being like, this video is sponsored by, or like, you know, I see like 5 ads on Twitch, I'm not going to go play WoW. I'm not going to go get Taco Bell because Twitch told me to. I'm going to go to Taco Bell because my tummy rumbles.
Here's my question, Cole.
Yeah. I don't have money, so.
Yeah, you're broke as fuck.
You've been pretty excited to see
Watch his YouTube
trailers
videos,
for like
please.
the new Sonic games, right?
Yeah.
Ads work on you.
Okay, I'm excited, but I have to buy them.
They've been marketed to you.
You are not immune to propaganda.
I'm not immune to propaganda.
Here's the thing: is that
I
ads?
haven't bought a game in forever.
The thing is
Okay,
that
but you're
ads
excited about
only
it,
work
so.
whenever you're interested in the thing that the ad is advertising to you.
And
right?
basically,
Then
the
it
idea of the
works.
ad is to just push out stuff that in the hopes that you'll be interested in it. You know.
Yeah.
And that's really.
I mean, yeah,
where
but
it goes.
That's why
It
people
doesn't
pay
help that
influencers
there
to,
is-
advertise their game, because they're advertising their games directly to gamers, so that the the target audience is there, and they probably like video games, and they're like, "Oh, this video game looks cool."
Yeah.
I started playing AFK Journey because of an ad from Lily Pichu.
Yeah. The problem is now is that so many, like, there's very few brands now that hold so much market share that you just see a lot of repeat ads. Whereas when things were a little bit more, like, you know, market shares weren't as cannibalized, essentially. There was just a lot more varied in terms of ads. They were still fucking annoying, always will be. You know, but at least you saw just different companies a lot.
Here's the thing that fucks me up is like
Ooh,
my
the
whole
Ace guy's
thing going through
fucking-
this.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're not sorry, but like
I'm not sorry, guys.
my
I thought it
thing,
was funny.
my thing is like why even watch like TV is the thing, because it's
Sports.
like what well,
That's
yeah
it.
like that's the thing, it's just sports,
And
right?
news,
So
I
it's
guess,
like,
if you want to watch the news.
to me it just feels like fucking like TV is like the PS5 of like broadcast content. You know, it's like there's nothing there. Like,
There's
there's just
actually-
like, you know how PS5 has no games. TV ain't got shit.
There's plenty there. It's just that the TV shows that are really like generation changing are so very few and far between, because a lot of shows really, they stop being good after a couple of seasons. And then networks want to keep them on because they keep the ratings high. And a lot of the time networks will depend on the high views of like one show to spill into or trickle in from other shows. But like, for example, I think it was Californication, for example, in one of its season finales, I think it only retained like 46 to 56% of viewership from the season 3 finale for Dexter. 1 week or whatever, and they're relying on like Dexter or at that time they were relying on Dexter to kind of feed into the viewership for Californication and keep that going.
Not to be confused
But a
with
lot of-
Dexter, though.
Or Dexter's Laboratory.
Ooh.
The problem becomes is that people just want to keep their jobs essentially, and networks are like, okay, well, your show's still doing well, we're just keep it going. But a lot of shows aren't really planned out that far ahead usually. And the reason that something like Breaking Bad, for example, it doesn't fall privy to this, it's why it's one of the greatest TV shows ever, is that they kind of had a general idea of how long they wanted to go, but they didn't stick to like a strict structure of how things were going to go. A lot of that writer's room was like, let's just solve the next thing. But they always knew how they wanted, or generally speaking, the creator always knew how he wanted things to end. He just had a very, very talented team of writers along with him. There's other things, obviously, that kind of go into this, like Firefly back in the early 2000s, the show that was written by Joss Whedon. Probably, I mean, other than Buffy, it might be his best show, but it only got a season, and it was like this sci-fi western.
Wait, he did Buffy? Like the Vampire Slayer?
Yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the show. Yep.
I didn't know
But he had written apparently like 7 seasons of Firefly, and he was very poised to make this another network success, but due to complications such as like Fox shifting around the time slot, airing episodes out of order, canceling episodes for like State of the Union addresses and everything. So I mean, number one, I directly blame George Bush for the cancellation of Firefly, and number two,
I mean,
that is so
All right.
so when they
Okay,
said George
sure.
Bush in 9/11, was that your 9/11? Is Firefly
yes,
getting
it
canceled?
actually was.
I see.
Yeah.
Are you
oh my
okay.
god.
But for example, so here's
Cool.
one thing too with networks is that, so he wrote that whole first hour-long episode, right?
Uh-huh.
And they actually
George
they
Bush
disagreed
wrote
with
the
the way
episode?
George Bush didn't write it. George Bush did do 9/11. No, I'm kidding. So Joss Whedon wrote like this whole hour-long
Whedon.
pilot, and it was all filmed and everything. And Fox was like, we don't actually like the way that some of these characters, like in one confrontation that the main characters have, they back down, and the network was, or Fox was like, we don't really like this. It makes them seem cowardly. But he was writing them in a way that made sense for the situation. And so they asked him to write a second episode that could also serve as a first episode. So they aired that as the first episode, and then they aired some other episodes out of order. They didn't actually air the pilot until the show was already canceled, and they were like, oh, we'll just air the pilot now to show everybody. So when you buy the DVD, they're all in order, but like the end of the series ends with their enemy being thrown out of the airlock in their ship, and the very last line in the show is, well, here I am. So yeah, there was a lot of there's a lot of crap that went on with that show.
So George Bush, like where does that?
Oh, that's just an aside because, well, the State of the Union stuff.
I thought you were explaining the George Bush stuff, and then
No.
I don't know where we came from or where we're going. I'll be so for real. I'm lost.
I was just basically I was saying that there's a lot of complications with working with a network, and the vision that you have for your show might not always work out because of, you know, time constraints and stretching out a story as well too. In the case of like Game of Thrones, it was that those
One Piece.
True. The series, like the showrunners for Game of Thrones, got an offer to do Star Wars, but
The Force
HBO
Unleashed.
told them, okay, you have 2 seasons you can wrap this up in. And the showrunners were like, nah, we'll wrap it up in 1. And it tanked everything. Like, it tanked their careers. It
wasn't even based off the
base.
book. Like, it wasn't even based off a book, right? Like, they kind of just had to like.
Well, the ending, they knew the ending because George R.R. Martin told them how he wanted everything.
Wait, so the show's ending is the actual ending of the books?
It is, but it's rushed in such a way that the pacing for character development doesn't make sense. As far as I'm aware, like if it had taken place if it had taken place over 2 seasons, it would have made a lot more sense. Because
the book still isn't out yet.
Apparently, there's also like some very misogynistic stuff that goes on to like kind of just warp one of the characters into somebody hateable. Whereas if they were able to stretch this out over 2
or
seasons,
likable, depending on who you ask.
well, in this
That is unfortunate.
like the character was Daenerys, and she needed to be hateable by the end of the show. So if they had taken a whole season to kind of show this slow descent into where she ended up, they could have done it in a much more natural way, but they did it in a whole season. So everybody loving this character to then hating her in like 10 episodes, not happening without some fuckery, basically. So there's people that like self-sabotage their own series in this way. There's things where like Dexter just kind of goes on too long. There's a lot of shows that just kind of go on too long.
It's like I don't know.
It's a very common
half
thing.
of every show's ever.
There's very few
So much
things
filler.
that don't go too long, but the shows that are out there that are consistently pretty good are definitely the reason to watch TV.
I think shows now are also kind of coming into this trend of like I noticed, like, I don't really watch Netflix, but you know, my parents do. But like when it's a show, it's like 9 episodes and they're like an hour or an hour and a half long. It's no more like there's 30 episodes a season and the episodes are like 45 minutes or 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
It's like they kind of cut to the chase. Like on demand like shows and stuff now, I feel like It's so interesting how different media landscapes structure the art.
Yeah, it's interesting
It's
because there is a lot of more space in those hour-long episodes for like quieter, serious moments, right? Depending on the type of show that you're watching. But it also introduces a lot of slow burn, and it introduces a lot of shows
use a salt burn.
True, or Salt Life, which is what they say in Rehoboth Beach here in Delaware. So the other thing too is like it encourages writers to write a show, or networks to kind of mandate them to do this in a way that just sort of makes you click next episode. You get to the end of it and you're just like, all right, on to the next one. It doesn't help anymore that when you watch a show, especially if you binge watch a show, which I sort of have a problem with how binging has become like a co-opted term essentially.
I can't binge watch a show.
From the very serious sort of thing.
Oh, I see what you're coming.
Yeah, like the binge eating stuff. So I have a problem with that terminology, but that aside, right, it doesn't help that there is now no longer the innate week-long digestion of what you've just watched, or there's no longer the watching the outro credits or anything like that. It's just boom, 5 seconds later, the next episode starts.
Boom Tetris.
And boom Tetris. That is me whenever I click the next episode button on the Plex server. It's just boom Tetris.
Damn, this guy has Plex. He's flexing on everyone here.
I'm plexing on everybody. So it creates an attitude of consumption rather than just digestion. So like when you would watch something that ended on like a cliffhanger, right? It had a lot more impact now than like, oh, I just saw this cliffhanger ending to this episode. All right, next episode, we can just keep going. But like before, you had to digest what you had seen and try to figure out what may happen or anything like that.
You had to activate your brain, and now you don't.
There was time to take it all in. You know,
time
I think that could still happen, like at least in between seasons, or like some shows, it's like they still only air like an episode a week.
Some do, yes, like X-Men '97 did.
Mm-hmm. Hashtag ad. Hashtag.
Dude, that was such. I just finished that show. That show was
great show. One of the best Marvel.
That show was great.
Like like one of the best Marvel things to come out recently.
Yeah. It was so good.
I'm trying to think of some other stuff too that I watched recently.
Yeah, I just think it's so interesting how like we get like on-demand TV and the way that stories are written now. It's just so interesting how the like different media access and its abilities change the art. It's like with music too, where it's like when you had a vinyl record, it was like you had two sides of the record, and Pink Floyd, they like kind of used that to their advantage, or every artist kind of did.
Yeah.
So it was only Pink Floyd,
other side of it.
It was only Pink Floyd is the only musical artist.
Pink Floyd and the Beatles are the only two artists that exist, actually.
Thumbs down.
Yeah. And now it's like if you listen to music on demand, it's like complete. Dude, don't fog Scooby-Doo sound effect Pink Floyd. Excuse me. Wow. All right.
Everything costs so much as well now too, right? Do you have like a lighthouse outside your window?
I live on a hill and it's on a curve, so it's like headlights, I'm pretty sure, but it's very ominous and spooky.
Yeah. You're getting.
I'm on the second floor. I think I'll be all right.
Some real backlighting going on there.
Yeah, that you guys, the audio listeners heard. That's actually the boats outside on the shore right now by the coast. No. Yep.
Yeah, but I think the main thing with the music thing, to complete your point of how it has actually changed, is the fact that people don't give a fuck about their albums typically. A lot of the times, like literally if you look at Sabrina Carpenter's album, it's just like 10 songs trying to hit the TikTok algo. Like that's all the people at the top are doing, or just trying to create this like one section of their song that just hits the TikTok algo in the craziest way possible. And like Sabrina Carpenter and fucking Chappell Roan have like nailed that to a T. They just
I mean, even
they just put in this little formula and they're like, okay, go on TikTok, and then TikTok just lights it on fire.
Ooh,
And you've seen that with a lot of things. Like, I
Boom,
mean,
Jeff Tetris.
even it's a lot with
Even
K-pop
like,
as well. Like, you'll just K-pop
Like-
will go nuclear on TikTok. But like, if you look at K-pop albums, especially, it's like 100 mil. 10,000, 100 mil.
Yeah, right.
It's wild.
I've noticed that for sure.
I don't
a lot.
know if
Like,
it makes me like sad or happy that that's like the case, but
it makes me
I don't know. Maybe it's
pissed
just
off.
because
I think
yeah.
it's trash.
it's like I don't know. I mean, hindsight. I don't know. Maybe it'll show us something else, but I would love if like somehow the way that most of us listen to music now, if there could be some creative way to display it via that. Like I've always, and I'll never do this. So if anybody out there
What do you mean?
can do it, so like I'm sorry guys, but I have to make a Beatles reference here. No, so like for example,
Okay.
because the grooves on a record, eventually when you get to the center of the record, it's basically like a circle and it keeps looping. And on Sgt.
Hey,
Pepper,
crazy! It's a circle on the whole thing, but
And they-
go off.
but no, but in the center though of Sgt. Pepper, they created this looping thing that just sounds really trippy and crazy, and you can't really get the same experience that they were trying to go for without listening to it on the medium it was intended to.
Yes.
Like if you listen to it on a CD, the CD ends. If you listen on Spotify, it says "Want to break from the ads?" Like it's just unfortunately.
that was good. Wow, what a curveball!
That was fire.
Oh man, dude.
But so I feel like I haven't seen anything like that.
I think the other thing too, right, is that like people, like artists, are like drip feeding songs essentially
What a
through
break.
stuff
Right.
like Spotify.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know,
gonna be
and
thinking about that one
that's
for the next week.
that's an issue for me too, because when you listen to when you used to listen to a record by somebody, it was very illustrative of where they were at, you know, at a certain point in their career, and you know what they were kind of, I guess, musing about. Now when you're drip fed songs over
Not
a
to be
year
confused with
plus,
Muse,
and then
the
that
band.
eventually adds up to a record, it's no longer necessarily illustrative of where they were at for this period. You know, it's like
Mhm.
everywhere just kind of, it's like, all right, well, we just took these that I just kind of did and just shipped it off. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Here's 4 songs that I've released over the past like 6 to 8 months, and then here's the album now, or
Yeah,
my
exactly.
favorite.
And then here's Super Deluxe version.
Here's a year
Yeah.
long. I'm gonna release 5 singles in this year, and then next year I'm gonna release the EP, which has all of the songs on it.
yeah, it's
What's the
funny.
point?
Yeah.
Just
But
Give us the music.
so just to finish my thought real quick on like why I even
I thought
mentioned that
you were
Beatles
done.
thing was and anybody could take this idea. I don't even know if it's a good idea because I don't make
I
music.
should copyright it.
Bad
you-
idea.
like,
Unless
you
it's
can-
bad, don't do it then.
On demand music. God, my thoughts are
Streaming
horrible.
music.
Yeah. Streaming music, you can loop the whole album or you can repeat a song over and over again. What if you made a whole album that perfectly looped and every song perfectly loops on itself?
I
So, like,
have
if you
one of those.
Clicked it on repeat.
Nonagon Affinity
Is it-
by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Yeah.
That's
Is it really?
yes.
It-
Okay. well,
Every
now I
song
gotta
loops
pull
into
that up.
itself. The whole
The
album
beauty-
loops to itself. Also, one of the greatest
That's
albums
awesome.
ever. It's so sick.
All right, well,
there
somebody
are
did that.
plenty of
I keep
albums
meaning
that
to listen
do that.
to that.
There are plenty of albums that
Really?
do that.
Saying,
Then I just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But that's
When you
awesome. I'm glad
saying
people
about,
do that
like-
then, 'cause
I
that
was
sounds
like,
cool.
I was like, didn't Nestani just recommend me an album like this a few weeks ago?
Yes.
Like,
Are you serious? No,
Well, I was
it can't be
saying
that
that.
common. Come on, it can't be that
It's
common.
okay. It's not that common, but people
It's
do
not.
it.
No.
Like
I just meant
but
in
I
my
That's
like
cool. I'm glad
those
people do that
albums.
then.
he had just recommended it to me like a little while ago. So
so. But the thing is,
Which
that
which
like
album was it?
Nonagon Infinity by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
It's such a
Well, I know
great
King
band
Gizzard and the
name.
Lizard Wizard.
honestly, props to them for that fucking
Just
name.
look up
dude.
Nonagon Infinity by King, and it should pop up.
I can't.
I don't. Well, I'm on their album page. I'll just look for it later.
I mean, I can just send it to you, bro. I have it on speed dial.
Or sure, do that.
Bonk.
But okay, then
Bing, bang,
fuck
bonk.
my idea. People are smarter than me and better.
Yeah,
than
but the
bigger
thing
than
is
this.
that you have to
About light.
manually do it. So like, what are you referring to? Like,
Yeah.
because that's the thing is if you're
Wait, what do you
making
mean?
music, you have the control to have it loop into itself, have every song loop into each other. Brand New's album, if the Devil and God Are Raging Inside of Me, that whole album also is front to back, never ending. It doesn't loop on itself, but it's front to back, never ending. So like each song.
Well, yeah,
transitions into
that's
itself.
a common
'Cause
thing,
they-
which I like that too.
Isn't Igor from Tyler? Doesn't that do the same thing? Or-
Yeah,
It
it kind of does.
It kind of does. It kind of does. It stretches it a little bit,
fair.
but it does.
Yeah, it probably
kinda.
cheats it a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Dark Side of the Moon.
Probably.
But yeah,
Kinda does it.
Yeah, a lot of
I actually don't
things
remember if that
go
album
all the
does.
way to the end, but not a lot of things loop back in on themselves. But
Mm-hmm.
what you'll see a lot is that you'll see like an intro song or like a beginning song. For example, Keshi's newest album does this thing where at the beginning, during Amen, which I think is the first track, he's like singing this like riff basically, and like singing this like set of words. I don't remember the words. I haven't listened to them that much. I can't recite them yet. But he recites like this sentence, and then on the last song, he's reciting the same sentence with like a different like kind of musical tone into it. And so when the album ends and loops back on itself, it kind of feels like it's like, oh, we're back. But it doesn't actually loop.
Yeah.
Like Nodding on Infinity actually loops. Like you can like if you put that bitch on repeat,
Yeah, that's
it
awesome.
goes
I want it
for
to, like, actually
Infinity,
loop,
which
yeah.
is the name of the album, right? Which I wish I had more more albums to like actually loop
I do
completely
know
on
that,
themselves,
like,
but it's that is an often trait, is like the last song kind of relates itself to the first song and it creates a pseudo loop. Go ahead, Cosmic.
I was gonna say I do know that like between the Buried in Me's Colors album, that is all technically one long song, and it's just cut into certain parts for when like they do certain genre changes, or like certain lyrics cut or whatever. And like the tour that they did a few years ago, I want to say maybe back in 2017 or something, maybe a little bit further back than that. It was a big deal because they were actually playing the whole album front to back in one go.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was-
that's very popular
it
with
was
doom
one of-
metal as well. Is that
Yeah, it was one of
typically it's
the
just big long thing.
it was one of the, I think probably one of the greatest sort of like accomplishments of modern metal like musicianship, because they change genres so much during that album, and it's like an 80-minute album or maybe more or something, and they just played the whole fucking thing for that tour. Like, can you just imagine that, like playing? But the thing is that the album is structured in such a way that like different members of the band get breaks at certain times during the songs, and it's such a smart fucking good ass album, man. Like, and it was, I mean, essentially the front man was on double duty too, because I think he does like keys as well as vocals on that album. So yeah, it's fucking great album. It's one of the best metal albums ever.
That's cool.
Definitely.
I still haven't
Yeah,
listened to
I
it
think
yet. I told him that I was going to listen to it, and then I didn't. But that's what I do with most people. If people give me something to listen to,
Yeah,
and
wait,
I'm
I was
like,
about to say-
I'll listen to it, and then I don't.
And then I
But I'll
don't.
do it eventually.
I swear.
Yeah.
Regret it. I know you won't.
I think in retrospect, by
I
the
mean,
way,
I started
when
listening to the
was,
first
like,
song, and then I got bored. So, like,
Well,
but
it picks up.
I
after
know it
that, so.
does. I know it does. I just wasn't in the mood for it.
One
I was
Piece
just
picks up after the first
I
few
didn't have the
seasons. You
patience.
just got to stick through.
This is a minute as opposed to
it's-
60
Yeah,
minutes.
bro. It's just like the first, like, yeah. I just didn't have the patience for it. But that's also
That's fair.
just like I have to be in the mood to like be like, all right, I'm listening to this now. Like,
That's one of those albums, definitely. Like, that is a band that you sort of have to be in the mood for multiple things kind of at once, because when you turn on a Given Between the Buried in Me song,
Question mark.
you're gonna get something. Yeah, you're gonna get something different. Like, them and Code Orange are the modern, like the metal equivalents of Never Let Them Know Your Next Move. Like, that is how those bands operate.
we think about the same Code Orange,
Swallowing the Rabbit Hole,
like underneath
people.
that
Yeah.
album.
Yeah, that album. Yeah.
What do you mean? Never know what
That
they're
between-
gonna do.
Between that and The Above, like I think The Above or Above is their current album.
I
They have
haven't
a
listened
song
to
with
that.
like
I've only listened to Underneath.
they have
Underneath
a-
is pretty. It's not like one note, but they do kind of do like surprising things, or like they'll
Yes.
stop randomly on like beat 3 or some shit that you don't like, see coming. and it's
Where it
it's a
just
cool
kinda
album.
like-
It's a good album.
Yeah.
They even
It's
have like
jarring.
a
Love
song
stuff like
with.
that.
I want to say
They
they
have a
genre
song with
change, which
Billy
is what we were
Corgan.
kind of talking about. Unless they
Yeah,
do.
well, I
on
mean,
the new
in
one.
their
I don't
case,
know.
it's like they have a framework, and where they'll shift within that framework,
Not to be confused
is
with
always
framework
like-
laptops.
yeah, or wireframes, or frames
Don't
on a
act like you're
There's
socket
so-
like 4
Don't
people
act
that
like
get
you're
that
sorry.
reference.
Don't act like you're sorry.
or like in Fatal Frame,
Ooh,
which was also
hashtag
called
ad.
Project.
Cosmic's playing that on Thursday. He's playing it last night. For
Yeah.
Dude,
everyone.
I got fucking stuck as shit in that game, by the way. Like, it was one of those things where, like, I don't know, man, it's fucking dark in all these PS2 horror games, and they're like, oh yeah,
They have the
brightness
lighting of
settings.
piss.
Yeah, they do. I mean, not necessarily the lighting of piss, but like, bro,
You
like,
can't see shit, bro.
you cannot see
Have
shit.
you
Like,
ever
I can
seen a
see some-
Scooby Doo Night at
I can
100
see
fright
some
stream with
shit.
no brightness gain on it? You
Just
can't
about to say that. Like, I'm editing my Frights video right now, and like, on
man,
me
dude.
doing the dance pad run, it looks fine. But like, when I'm using like other B-roll footage, I'm like, God, I gotta fucking color correct like ever. And of course, I didn't do like one long video that I can just have all the settings be in once. I did like separate. I'm like,
It
Oh!
that they're like, yeah, no area is going to have natural lighting. It's just going to be your character's flashlight.
Yep.
Like, that's it, man.
Yup.
And I'm like,
So
Jesus.
cool.
I feel like a lot of
God,
games from that era had
fucking
that
A.
issue. Like,
It's
we're
true,
talking
they do.
about,
It's like,
but,
bro, let
those
me see the
SpongeBob games,
screen.
too. No.
yes,
why would-
please.
Please, let me see the game.
I always love when games from that era, or even sometimes horror games nowadays, do this, where it's like adjust the brightness until like this square is barely
And I
visible
just
or
above
whatever.
that,
And
dude.
I'm just
I
like,
always do
I'm
it
just
way
gonna,
above
I'm
it.
gonna crank that
Yeah.
shit. And
Yeah.
it's just like
Cranking that shit. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
like,
before-
some of it works, right? Like, for atmosphere purposes, but like, bro, sometimes, like, especially when I look at the feed on my stream, I'm like, all right, y'all, so this is what's happening. Like, because there is so little lighting in some of those areas, and my capture is darker than like what I see on
Yeah.
the TV. So I'm like, good grief, bro. But no,
Good
that game's
golly,
tight
Miss
though.
Molly.
Because the cool thing about that game is like you.
No, you can't,
Go
Cole.
ahead, Cole,
Fuck you.
actually.
No, keep going,
Go ahead,
Cosmic. Let's
Cole.
go. Just ignore
Well, I
him.
was gonna say
Get
the
him
cool
back
thing
for
about
last
that
time.
game.
Wait, actually, he's gonna hit you with the "Are you done yet?" Cole, go ahead.
bro, he saw it locked and loaded in his face.
Oh man, dude. Well, I was gonna say the cool.
and then I threw. What?
Well, I was gonna say the cool thing about that game is that the way you fight things is obviously with a camera, right? And so when you look through the camera at every like area, it actually has better lighting when you look in first person through the camera. But you see everything sort of like through this really grainy sort
What the
of
fuck does she know about cameras?
like weird. All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, it's literally the fucking layup
Yeah.
and dunk. It's just
It
it's
is,
too
yeah,
easy.
dude.
It's
I
too
definitely
easy.
set that up.
It's too easy.
Too easy. But,
Come on, man.
it's
It's
a-
too easy.
Too easy.
It's a dope ass game because I mean your weapon is your camera and you use different types of film for like being
so
able to
nerdy.
fight things.
That's kind of
It's-
cool.
It's pretty unique, honestly, and like
Unique New
there
York.
it has a different sort of tension compared to other horror games where it has jump scares in it, but it's not like cheap jump scares where
Yeah,
they're
they
pretty-
spend
the
money
tension
on
is the
at
ten-
least $30.
the tension is built by like you walking around this mansion and you're like, yeah, there's a ghost is going to show up, but you don't typically know where. And sometimes the ghost is non-hostile. Sometimes it kind of just like shows up, looks
Like,
at you,
Hi.
and then just keeps walking. And it's just like, damn shit, bro. What the fuck?
Cosmic, did you like Five Nights at Freddy's?
No, I didn't play that game.
Is this what you're gonna pivot to? Was Five Nights at Freddy's? Is this
No,
what you-
it was not.
Okay, thank God.
All right, so what's your
That just made me
What's
think
your
of it.
actual pivot?
My actual pivot is what was the first video game OST that was like, oh shit, like video game music is
SA2.
actually kind of music.
Devil May Cry 3?
The first? That's crazy. You're older
Honestly,
than all of us. DMC 3? Oh,
Yeah, but
that's
I
late,
played-
bro.
I played that game fucking when I was
Hold on.
16 years old, bro.
DMC 3 release
It's-
date.
2005, motherfucker.
Oh, it is a bit older than I expected, but not as old as SA2. So still, my point still stands. Actually,
Damn.
Well, the thing is that
Also,
like
didn't DMC 5 just release like fucking 4 years ago or some shit?
5 actually.
5.
Yeah,
Man, they don't
29.
release these
ironic.
games ever, bro.
Yeah, I know.
He says
So,
yes.
Let me
I am
let me
aware.
break some shit down for you. Okay,
Uh-oh.
so in 2001 they released Devil May Cry 1, and then they greenlight DMC 2 without letting the creator of Devil May Cry know.
Okay, here we go.
So they pushed that out in like a year or two, and the game functions.
Yeah, they push it out.
But they were like they were like
childbirth.
pulling people from like different projects. They're like, hey, are you done your game? Can you come help
done yet?
finish Devil May Cry? Before good, I like it. Let's keep it going. So then finally, the guy that they had salvaged the fucking project for DMC 2, he was like, I want to make the third one because I don't want to be known as the guy that made DMC 2. So they pull him, like he directs 3, and 3 is one of the best video games ever made. So that comes out in 2005. They released special edition for that in 2006. The next game comes out in like 2008. And then the series is discontinued for a while because it didn't sell as well as Call of Duty. And then the next game in the series is in 2013, which was the reboot.
Hey, that's when I was a
That
freshman
did not
in high
do
school.
very well. That did not do very well. So they canceled that. And then Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, and then the
Sounds
reboot
like these games just
Definitive
aren't
Edition.
good.
No, they're very
it
good.
sounds
It's
like-
Capcom.
If it doesn't do well by the metric of capitalism, the game is dog shit.
They want their niche hack and slash to do as well as Call of Duty. I'm sorry, bro. That's not happening. Like, Devil May
Call of
Cry is
Booby.
never going to be that sort of game. But it is, with the release of Devil May Cry 5, it is doing much better numbers than it used to in the past.
I can't believe GTA 6 is going to come out before the next Devil May Cry game.
All right, hold on. When did GTA 5 come out? I forget.
Oh,
It was like 2013, pretty sure.
Oh,
Did I say
God.
5? I
it
meant
was
to say 6. That was the joke.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel old. I
Okay,
feel
so
old,
here's
and
the
I'm only
thing: is
22.
that 3 Devil May Cry games have come out in the span between
Yeah, so
Sounds
good
like 3
ratio,
unsuccessful
kid.
games.
Damn.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 5 and 6. Like, well,
True.
you can't live service Devil May Cry, so there's not nearly as much money.
Not with that
for
attitude.
Live service. What
It's
the
true.
Yeah, I was not with that.
You know what? I'm surprised they haven't done live service like Monster Hunter.
What
I
the
feel like
fuck
they
is
make, like, a
live
shitload.
service?
Well, technically, Monster Hunter
Like,
is
we-
live
like-
service, right?
Online shit, like League of Legends.
Oh,
Well, it is
okay.
live
You
service
guys
because it's online. It's pretty much always online, right?
Yeah, it's,
Monster
yeah.
Hunter. But like, they tried to do live service Resident Evil games, and
Ruffle?
those keep tanking.
Those were shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
there's like,
Water's
There's
wet,
like-
you know, it's like
what was it? Fucking Resident Evil Verse, and then there's also Resident Evil, the fucking Dead by Daylight clone or whatever.
I don't give a
I
shit
don't- I
about
don't
Resident
even
Evil.
remember
I'll
what
be
it
so real.
was.
I'm so
Yeah.
out of this conversation. right now.
yeah. This is out of my
Anyway.
field.
this is out of
So
my, this is out of
anyway,
my pay grade.
mine is
Is that
Sonic
my
Adventure
guess?
2. Sonic Adventure 2 was the first game that I was like, wow, this is cool music. This is good music.
Yeah,
Wah
that's
wah wee
fair.
wah.
I'd say for me it was probably Chibi
Yeah.
Robo, just because
Fucking
it
everything
didn't
comes
just
back to cheap. I'm just
it
messing.
does, dude. Like, but it's like
Damn.
it's not just the music; it's the way that they do, like they incorporate it into like the game mechanics, like
Yeah, I like, yeah.
because it's like every
I like that.
footstep in that game like plays like a note from the pentatonic scale of whatever song's going on in the backtrack,
Oh, that's
and
pretty
that's
neat.
dope as
It
fuck.
is a really cool
Yeah.
game. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
have
fair.
to give it.
I
to
like
him.
it.
Unfortunately
Gotta
for
give it
this
up.
guy, you have
Gotta
to hand
give
it
it
to
up.
I have to
him.
give it up. I have to
You
give it up.
have to hand it to him.
That game's
Yeah,
dope.
I love that
I'll never
shit.
play it ever, but it's objectively a good game.
It is definitely, yeah. I mean,
I've
one
been
day
saying
maybe I'll
this.
play it. One day maybe I'll play it, but like I don't
I'm
know. I
not
got so
promising
many other
that.
fucking games that I got to go through. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
What's your answer, Mr. O2
So-
underscore O2?
My answer is probably either Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess or I guess this
Beatles
isn't.
by Pink
I
Floyd.
don't remember the first video I ever watched of his, but like, do you guys know who Smooth McGroove is?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
No.
Middle school me discovered that long-haired bearded guy, and I was like, dude, video game OSTs.
For
He did-
the people at home, if you don't know who he is, he does acapella covers of
Yeah.
video game tracks.
It's me.
it's-
I'm the
He's
people
like
at
he's like the
home.
Fire.
Pentatonics
Remember that
of
guy?
video game music.
I think
Yeah,
maybe I was
except
thinking
it's one guy
somebody else.
and his cat.
It's just one guy and his cat. The cat doesn't do
Yeah.
jack shit.
But
He's
he
just
did
there.
a cover of One Winged Angel from Final Fantasy VII, and I still haven't played Final Fantasy VII, but I'm like, their shit goes hard. This shit hard. Like,
He's hard.
damn.
This shit.
Estrons inte visira världen di estron sarira ba 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 ba. And sixth grade me, I played that in the library. I was like, "Excuse me, miss, could I have some headphones?" And then I would do my homework. While
Yeah, he turned
British.
British in the library, guys. It's kind of crazy.
That's how it works. Yeah, if you didn't say color with a U, they'd kick you out.
That's some
Nice.
gatekeeping right there. Classic Great Britain play right there.
Yeah, yeah. But
They
yeah.
love their gates,
I'm-
that's for sure.
Mm.
I do have to say that out of any video game OST, though, like Sonic itself, I just feel like I've listened to that the most in terms of
For
like,
sure,
any
I
video
agree.
game.
Yeah.
I think Chrono Trigger also needs to be in that conversation as well. Like, they're
Probably.
like,
I want to play that game so
if
bad.
you want like a
Everybody says it's
traditional
great.
like orchestral OST, like nothing compares to Chrono Trigger. Like, it's not even close.
Dude, I played Silent Hill 2 recently, and the music in that game is so fucking
Why the
good.
fuck is there music in
Like-
that game? It's supposed to be silent.
You kind of got a
So
point.
the music is
He's
got a point.
The
I'm
hill
kinda
is silent,
spitting.
not the game.
You will not pass go. You will not
All
collect
right,
$200. Go
whatever.
down Comedy jail.
But the music in Silent Hill 2 is fucking awesome. It's really good. That game is also very, very good. It gets really fucking heavy at the end, but really great game. Kind of sad it took me this long to play it, but
Did you go into it blind or?
mostly blind.
No,
It's
he
one
had
of
to have
those
his
things
eyes
where,
open
like,
in order to play the game.
that is true. Well, I might as well have been blind with how dark the damn game was. But the thing is, like, number one, I thought I was gonna have to spend a lot of money on it, but I bought a Japanese copy, which actually has English text options. So I got it for like a third of the price that I would have had to pay for an American copy, which is dope. So there's that. Plus, so there's games that whenever I watch them, even as like a speed run or whatever, I don't know what we're doing, but
You said number one, and now you're on number two. What do you mean?
oh, number two. Okay. Number two, like there's
I thought we were
games that
flipping
when
off
I
Great
watch
Britain.
them, even as a speed run, I just sort of wipe them from my brain afterwards. So like I've technically seen a bunch of parts of Silent Hill 2 and
It's
3.
hurting my hand.
Plenty of times.
Hold on, pause for a second, Cosmic.
But-
How the fuck is holding up your hands hurting your
No,
hands, my nigga?
No, it's holding the two.
What do you mean? You're just
I have wrist
your
issues.
hands. How do you play video games, bro? You speed run like 10
I
hours a day.
I don't play video games 10 hours a day.
That's true. He hasn't streamed in like
I
3
sleep
months.
10 hours a day. I sleep 10 hours a day. Fuck you. Anyway, back to Silent Hill 2.
I appreciate
Not to be confused
you,
with
Jaxler.
3, but 2.
So, I've seen a bunch of these games, like even Fatal Frame, I've seen a bunch of, but I just choose not to retain a bunch of it. And I'm just like, yeah, I'll probably play these games one day. So, like, I don't know. Spoilers have this non-effect on me where, like, I can just forget a game largely, even though I've watched it a bunch. So, Silent Hill 2, like, I went into it, and there was stuff that, like, when I would see it, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I remember seeing this before, but a lot of the major stuff I wasn't spoiled on, even though I'd probably seen it.
Are we still on 2? Are we on 3? I don't know anymore.
No, this
I
is
think
still
we're
2.
We're still on 2.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is he done yet?
And number three, I'm drop kicking you if I ever meet you, Cole. Number 4.
I don't think you can. He's like 10 inches
is I'm
taller than you.
drop kicking you whenever.
You're gonna
fine.
miss, bro.
The bigger they are,
You
the
don't
harder
have
they
the-
fall.
You don't have the
number
reach
4,
advantage, bro.
Hey, don't talk about his
Yes,
weight like that.
number-
He's lost a lot of weight. He's done a good job.
No, not that kind of reach.
Not to confuse with Athena
So-
reach from Smite.
This
or reach
No
around.
one's doing that. No,
Nothing gets
stop!
reach around.
Stop it! We're going back to 2.
So 4, I actually had contemplated.
Wait, what was
playing
3? What the fuck just
was
happened?
3?
We just went from.
I'm drop kicking you when I meet you, Cole.
Oh, okay,
so number 4.
Cool.
Uh,
We're here. I'm back.
So number 4, I had contemplated playing them in order, like 1, 2, 3, And then I was like, well, 2 is not related to either of them, but 1 and 3 are related. So I figured I would just play 2.
And then play 3, and then play 1.
Oh, no.
He didn't like my suggestion, which was play 2, then 3, then 1.
That was diabolical.
I'm just gonna wiggle my fingers to simulate.
I'm gonna play,
I don't know what number we're on.
2, 1, 3. So
Congratulations,
with 2 was so acclaimed that I was like, I need to check it out. I don't want to sit through all of 1. I'll get to 1 when I feel like getting to 1, which is going to be eventually. So, because you have to play 1 in order for 3 to make the most sense. So that's what I'll do. But yeah, no, great game. I'm done now.
Doing some magic tricks on my screen.
We got to 4.
Cole's doing tricks on it.
Yeah, watch my thumb real quick. I can't do it for very long. I'm magic. I'm gonna make the sticky note disappear. It's gone.
That was so dog shit.
Crazy.
Oh my Lord
Just
almighty.
Gone forever.
bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just incredible.
Anyway, to super circle back, my whole point of bringing up the TV thing at the very beginning is that like I would watch basketball. However, there's just no reason for me to ever watch basketball because I refuse to watch the ads. And if I could watch basketball without ads, I would, but I can't, so I don't. And I think they should work on that because they're losing out on a potential customer here. Because last year I paid for like the NBA app thing, which was like $140, and that was cool because you got to watch like some of the games, but like all the games that you actually wanted to watch of like the big boys playing, you couldn't watch any of them. But you could watch like the fucking like
how it goes.
the Orlando
That's
Magic
weird.
and the Rockets play on like a Tuesday night. You could watch that, which I did, but like I don't think most people want to do that. Like they want to watch Braun play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know.
Because you just didn't get any of the nationally televised games, and I just think it's so dumb.
You know, I just
also
realized...
watching it on the app too. Sorry, is really dumb too because since ad breaks are like literally built into the game of basketball, you literally watch them play for 2 minutes, and then you just like watch the arena for 2 minutes, and I'm like,
I feel like sports,
Like,
I feel
what's
like
the
the
point of
sports like I feel like sports are like chemically designed to like be built for as much ad break as
It
possible.
is. They literally
It's
are,
so-
and
it's
it's
so
like
dog shit.
actually annoying. It's like not even about the sport
Definitely.
anymore, which is why like because the thing is that like I'm down to watch a game of basketball. However, when I'm getting my attention span nuked every like 4 minutes for a 2-minute ad break where nothing happens, I just end up clicking off and not watching it. So I wasted $140 last year because I didn't watch that many games.
Yeah.
I just didn't because I would try
That's
to
how they
watch a
get
game, I would get my shit nuked, and then I would be bored, and then I would just click off and start watching YouTube. Like,
Sounds about right.
I think it's different if you
Damn.
go in person because in person, it's you can feel the energy, blah blah blah. You can talk to everybody around you. Like that's I'm not talking about that,
You
but
can
like
feel
when
the
you're
love in
watching
the
it
air.
at home, it's just like like. Which the thing is, we were supposed to watch it with other people. I hate watching things with other people, so I don't want to do that.
I hate people.
I hate people. People have been saying this. What were you gonna say,
This
Cole
is-
or Cosmic? Cole.
This is also like the
I don't
problem with
remember.
streaming, right? Is that like all the movies that or whatever, or the TV shows that you want to watch, they'll fucking lock them behind like additional purchases and stuff. Like Amazon does this. I was watching the X-Files, and I was like halfway through the first season, and then all of a sudden, I had to pay for every episode, and I was like, nope, not doing that. But and then like there's some movies like I'm trying to remember which Quentin Tarantino film I was wanting to watch, and then it was like you have to pay
Probably
for
very
this.
gory.
But then like The Beekeeper with Jason Statham is free, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. There's so much there's just so much stuff that's like middle of the pack that is kept free for the purpose of like making you click through stuff, and then like, oh well, the good stuff is
Behind a paywall.
premium, so
Yeah.
I'll just do that. It's the same with like PlayStation Plus, where they have you paying monthly to like play online, which thanks for that, Microsoft.
That's still happening?
for
That's
yeah,
criminal, bro.
yep.
What the fuck?
And the thing
I don't
too is
own a
that like
console. I'll
people
just be
will
so
buy.
I
mean, I
own a
don't
PC.
pay for it, so I just never I purchased it once, and then I was like, well, I'm not going to use
That's
this. But
criminal that's still going on. Like,
yeah, it is quite.
Console people are getting scammed. Well, I guess
Yeah.
to be fair, they're getting the greatest deal of all time on like super cheap hardware into like a little console, little box thing that works very well.
Yeah, and I mean,
so
the thing
I guess
too
they
is that
kind of deserve to get scammed, but like it's kind of crazy.
They keep you paying for it in the hopes that like the stuff that shows up on like PlayStation Plus monthly for the free games is going to be good. So you're kind of always holding out hope, like, oh, maybe this $60 game that I wanted to purchase will show up on the monthly thing,
Epic
and then
Games
I'll get to
Store,
play it for
game
free.
thing, yeah.
Well, though, I just mean like on PlayStation Plus's monthly like free game or whatever.
Oh, they just give you a
they'll
monthly
have,
free game, like you don't even like get it for free forever.
Well, so what happens is there's a selection of games that are like you can add to your library for free for a month, and as long as you have PlayStation Plus, you own those games. The moment you don't have PlayStation Plus,
They all
you
go
cannot
away.
access those games anymore.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you don't really own it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
But if you
'cause
don't-
at least Epic Games,
and
you
if-
actually
and if
own
you
that
don't-
bitch, you know.
And then if you don't add them to your library or like download them during the time that you have them on, like that they're free on PlayStation Plus, the next month that you'd have to pay.
So you
for
can't
it. So
re-download it. That's crazy.
you could probably re-download it because it'd be added to your library at that point. But once you don't have Plus, then it just doesn't
once
work.
you're minus,
So
not to be confused with the Plus album from Ed Sheeran.
That sounds really complicated.
it's a little dumb and weird. It used to be kind of a selling point when
when it was relevant 20 years ago.
when it was relevant, 20 years ago, or like I guess 10, 15 years ago. But,
Yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Or what I guess
PlayStation.
PS3 era, right? Or something like that. But
Which is close to 20
when-
because it's almost 2027. So
that's true actually.
it's like 15, 16 years.
Don't remind me.
Or I guess technically 17. I guess I could have just did the math.
Yo, Cosmic, how does it feel to be old?
12 years out of college, man. 65 billion years out of
That's
Africa.
old.
I'm about to
Fucking
go back to
lose it.
college. I don't want to kill myself.
You'll be all right, bud. You'll be all right.
No, I won't. My mental's going to be in shambles. I'm so excited for it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I can tell by the
Aren't you?
smile.
Yeah, yeah. Audio listeners, he is smiling.
He's
Such a-
Goofiest grin.
I was gonna say he's definitely doing his best hide the pain Harold impression right
Yeah.
now.
some major
He's
copium.
just like, yay.
Just think of the learning experience you'll get. Education.
Don't even get me started on this. You know
was
where
gonna-
I will launch to.
True, yeah.
And
Honestly, don't get me or Nestani started on this because I'd say we both agree that
you
like
do not learn at school. You just get a fucking checkbox. You learn nothing.
too,
There's
yeah.
nothing for you to learn.
I got a piece of
Your
paper.
money is
'Cause
just
I
for
would
them
say-
to fucking research their fucking bullshit. Okay, there's nothing going on there at all.
Kill him.
get them. I would say honestly that like the bachelor's degree is ostensibly the new high school diploma, and I
Yes,
have to
it
wonder.
is. It's stupid.
I
Yeah,
have to
it's- and-
wonder
yeah.
at what point like we have to acknowledge that 16 or like 22 years of education is like the new standard. Like we've gotten just technically like book
It's
smarter as
getting
a
bad.
species. Things are more advanced. You need more education mandatorily in order to survive. Like especially because of the
I
growing
don't know if I
technology gap.
I don't know. I don't.
I mean, I
Because
don't know. It
you
just
could
feels
just
like there's
learn on the
more that
job.
you need to.
That's
Well,
the
you
thing.
could just learn on the job, but
That's
like
true.
you could just have some sort of basis. I mean, I would say that like if we were to extend it to like 22 years mandatory, that again the whole 22 years would be public funded. You know,
I mean,
like,
I'm down for that, but like,
If anything, like I feel like they should just change. Like
I think
I've
it
always
ch-
thought
obviously
that high
change
school,
is just
if
cool.
you're gonna have,
it needs to change.
well, there's many things I don't like about the education system, and one of them is the fact that you have to choose like your career when you're like
Fucking
so
18.
young and your brain is yeah. So
and
like,
you
if you're
can't just
gonna
like
be
come
a
back
dick,
to it later.
right? And if you're gonna be a dick and do that, then why don't you just have high school be more focused on individualized study? If you're gonna do something
Yeah.
like that, which I don't think we should. But I always thought that in high school where I was like, I'm taking pre-calc and I'm never going to use this again in my life. Like
No.
I
Yeah.
barely know how to do long division anymore.
It's waste of fucking time.
Uh,
I don't know how to do it.
and-
Straight up. I don't know what that shit means anymore.
I completely forgot. I feel bad for saying it.
Hey guys, you
but
won't have
I
a
really
calculator
don't
in your
remember.
pocket your
I'm sure
whole
if
life.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You won't have. Yeah, you won't have a calculator the rest of the
To
time.
be fair, they were right
Yeah,
at the
what a
time.
fucking
They
lo-
were right at the time.
That's true.
We can't.
They couldn't have predicted,
That's-
10 years of technological.
I'll
advancement.
let
I
off
think
the
there's
gas on that
merit
one.
to being.
It
I
was a
think
good
there's
joke,
merit
though.
to the skill of mental math, and also just the idea
true.
that
I mean, if you
you
can
know.
like add and subtract, sure, in your head, yes, that's all I need. But I learned that shit in the second grade. Like, what the fuck do I need a pre-cal for with these fucking letters? Why do I need letters about numbers? Fuck off, bro. Like, this shit doesn't go together. The numbers aren't in the alphabet. Keep them separate.
Now you're saying there's imaginary numbers? Okay,
know about
sure.
Like, motherfucker.
what the fuck do you know about calculators?
Why do I need
Just make it.
calculators?
like, bro, I'm literally pointing a camera at shit and zooming in it. Like, I don't need this fucking this fucking bullshit math. Here's the thing too, is that like my least favorite thing about school is that they make you take all these bullshit classes, even in college. College is supposed to be the thing where you're supposed to be directed on the thing that you
Yep,
want to do,
I hated
and you're
gen
not
ed
even
stuff
directed
in
on the thing you want to
college.
do. You're not even directed on the thing you want to do. They're like, take this
wasn't
fucking
even
English
really
course,
doing
take this science course, kill yourself. Like, what do you mean? Like, what?
Not until masters, honestly.
Yeah, no,
I
like
would say,
masters, you are actually
Yeah.
doing shit that you're supposed to.
Yeah, for me, it was like my
A little-
4th year of college,
I
3rd year
think
of college.
for
Yeah.
very specific
less
things
semester.
that make sense, like game dev, for example, is a very multidisciplinary thing. It makes sense that you're reading a bunch of random shit because games have writing, like literature components to that. Games have code, they have math, they have art. But like for 99% of other things, it's like
Completely irrelevant.
yeah, it's like.
Like, why do I need an English fucking like class when I'm pointing a camera at someone? I just don't. I just like, what do I need math for? I just don't. Like, I don't know.
The other thing that
Fucking
bothers me
mitochondria is the
too
powerhouse of the cell, nigga.
yeah, exactly.
I'm pointing a camera at someone. Like, what?
But it's like, I think part of my issue too is like a lot of it's fucked up because the way like jobs in the labor market is also, I would argue, even more fucked up.
Yeah,
And
because
like,
they say that you. Sorry, go ahead.
no, go for it. You know what you're talking about. Go for it.
The thing is
on.
about these motherfuckers is that they're like, oh, we want you to have this much experience and be good at your shit. And so when you have that much experience and you're good at your shit, then they're also like, yeah, but we also want this degree. But then if you have the degree and you don't have the experience, they don't give a fuck. But if you're actually good at the shit, but you don't have the degree, they also don't give a fuck. So it's like, why the fuck do you want me to have this useless fucking checkbox that you clearly don't care about? Because guess what? Once you get into the interview with the fucking checkbox, then
It doesn't
they
matter.
care about how good you are. And it's like this complete fucking stupid thing. And
Yeah, and
as you can
let's say
tell,
you
guys,
meet-
I'm very excited about going back to school and spending $14,000 a fucking semester to get a fucking checkbox just so I can get a fucking job. Even though I'm already way more overqualified and better than most of the people in this fucking city that I live in. That I'm not going to dox myself, but I know
Here's
that I'm better than
here's
most.
the other thing too is like let's say you meet all of those check boxes, it's like they're still gonna like
Oh, you're black. We don't want you. Sorry.
well,
Damn.
Your hairline's too good. We don't want you here, dog. I don't know.
oh damn.
Oh,
Look
so
at
that's
this
why I
shit.
get so many jobs.
I got that fresh haircut, by the way.
Talk to him.
Talk
But-
to you. Talk to you. The podcast by the Hawk Tua girl.
Oh god.
We don't talk.
dude.
We don't talk about that.
Sentenced to 1 second
Real.
of talk to a death.
What were we gonna say, Jack?
Your Honor, League of Legends.
That's
True
true warning.
Anyway, I don't know where I was going with this, but it's just like even still, let's say you meet all the checkboxes, they're still gonna underpay you like fucking crazy. Is the
True.
other thing too?
Yeah.
I
Like
get
it's
paid
just
$17 an hour.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so fucked. It's just so bad.
Yeah, that is the fucked up thing is that like so when I got into the job that I was at before, right?
Full time. It's really cool. Good. Sorry.
yeah.
No, you're good, dude. When I got into the job that I was previously at, I was making more money
Walgreens.
than when I was at Walgreens, yes. But when I went to like another company as a new hire, like as an external hire, I got 2 more raises. One is like an initial hire thing, and then another as a market adjustment. And it was like they brought me on for something very, very good, like, I don't know. I think, it's like 25 something at this point. And that's like, entry level, but I came in with experience. So they were like, oh, well, we got to grab this guy, you know?
Yeah.
And of course I have like a college degree and stuff, and like for me to actually advance, there's other stuff that I'm gonna have to jump through in terms of what I'm interested in. And I have plans there, but that's like a 6 month or a year down the line or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, you can make more money just hopping around every couple of years than you know,
that's literally
than
what
staying
I got
with a company.
do.
Yeah.
Like when I went to GDC and was
Especially
like,
if your
being
field
mentored by
is a
people,
wider
like,
thing, right? It's kind of
Yeah,
harder to do
especially in
that when
software.
you're doing something narrow.
Yeah, there's no such thing as company loyalty. It's just it's ass.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that a lot of places don't have pensions anymore either. So it's like the previous reward for being invested at a certain company is just really not there anymore.
Literally the only reason that you really want to work at a big company is because you get health insurance. Like that's like because health insurance is so fucking expensive in this country.
Exactly.
Like,
And it's shit. The thing that you do get without
what
it,
you do
right?
get is also shit. It's
shit and more expensive. Really cool.
It's just the whole deal.
Are you
the
guys
whole game
Americans
is
with all these problems?
Yeah. The whole game is just so rigged against the average person. It just sucks balls, and I'm just not.
Yep. Which is why you just can't fight fair. I mean, history has historically favored the exploitative and the bullshitters.
Yeah.
So,
True, and
It's
that's why
like-
I'm gonna exploit everyone that's listening to this podcast right now.
so if you like being,
Give us
if
your
you
money.
Comment, like, and subscribe.
If you
Now,
like
give
having
us your
your
money.
engagement exploited, please like and subscribe, and then go and like and subscribe on an alternate account and give us double the engagement.
Yep.
True, people have been
So,
saying this, and then buy the
should do
bot
that.
followers, and then say buy more followers on DECosmic.com.
Every time you see somebody come into your Twitch channel with best viewers at this link, always click it. Don't ban them. They're doing you a big
Always click.
especially when that E is underlined and they're using it to bypass your filter to prevent them from doing their service to humanity. They are public servants, those bots. Make the AI work for you. I've been saying this for a while. So, yeah, do that. What y'all got going on, by the way?
Nothing.
So, well, I do
I'm
have
just hanging on
something
by a
going
thread
on.
over here.
Yeah, that's a vibe.
Godspeed, brother.
I am heading up to Rochester
Oh, sick.
this weekend, so there's a Rivals of H3 regional I'm going to, but
Good
here in
luck, man.
Rochester, it's been, thank you. But I'm mostly going to just hang with people, and I haven't seen people there in like 2 years, so it's like kind of a full circle thing. So
Time
I
is a
see my
flat
speedrun
circle.
friends. It is a flat circle.
Message you and be like, "Did you win?" You're gonna be like, "No, but I had a lot
No.
of fun." I'll be like, "Why the fuck did you not win?" And then you're gonna be like, "But I had a lot of fun." And I'll be like, "That's too bad."
There's gonna be a lot of top players there. It'll actually
No,
be
what
really
he's gonna he's gonna be like he's gonna show up and he's gonna be like, oh man, I did so poorly. I got like 4th, but I beat this ranked player and this ranked player and this ranked player. And then it's just gonna and then he's gonna subtle flex while also talking down on himself. That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
That's what I love doing. That's like my whole.
Yeah.
That's my whole vibe.
That's
This is
the
bread and
millennial
butter.
special, bro. The
I'm not a
special.
millennial. What the fuck? Are you
Oh, that's right.
talking
You're
You
there.
are Gen Z, aren't
about?
you?
I am Gen Z.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
you have
Okay.
millennial tendencies, so you might as well just be there.
Yeah.
You're on
What
the
does that
line,
mean?
buddy. You're on the line.
What
You
does
could
that
flip
mean?
you could flip either way, big dog.
Hold on, I take offense to that. What the
Good.
fuck does that mean?
Hey man,
Well, I
if
mean,
you act like a millennial and you're on the border,
What do you mean?
You're a millennial.
It's like a millennial. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm not gonna agree with this.
is he? Wait, he's a
Well,
borderline millennial.
yeah, he's trying to cross the border right now. Trump's gonna get him.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Wait. You were born in what? 98.
98, yeah.
Yeah, that's the
I think
border.
you're technically millennial then.
No,
No.
it's literally the first year of Gen Z is 98.
Oh, is it 98? Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Which
yeah.
you're on the border, which is what I was saying. Which is why I say he's on the border. I'm just saying.
I hate these fuckers.
We all
pointed
are
behind
fuckers.
him.
This is
He
true.
He didn't
He didn't
point
point
at
it
us.
out.
He
You're-
pointed
you're
behind
couch.
him.
Yeah.
He's like, I
pointed
hate these
to the-
ghosts on this couch behind me.
True. All three of
These
us
ghosts-
fuck. At
I
least,
can't
well,
believe
actually,
that-
no.
Yeah,
All
don't
one of
tell
us
me my
fuck,
friends
but then
back there
2
are
are
dead.
potential fuckers, though.
Mm.
Goodbye, everyone.
Well,
Come on.
Well, I was gonna say, hang on.
Oh,
I was gonna say yes.
not goodbye,
tune in.
everyone. Everyone, come back to the podcast. I know you went
Everybody
up to
come
the
back.
tab.
Log into
He's
your
not
third
done yet.
account.
Yeah,
Like and subscribe again.
that's true. Yes,
For a
This is
third
the
time.
longest outro of all time. Say what the fuck you're gonna say, big dog.
Well, I was gonna say
Better be good.
the Saturday after this comes out. So tomorrow, technically, from when you're watching this, I'll be doing my PS2 trilogy run of all my Japanese copies of DMC 1 through 3.
Pissing too.
And it'll be cool because that hasn't been done for a while, or like decades. So
Yeah,
and
watch
I don't
that.
think
And if you
anybody's
don't,
ever
I'm gonna show up to your house and take shit on the
I don't think
floor and
anybody's ever
leave.
speed run the Japanese version of DMC 3.
Wow.
So like the original version. So yeah, that's it for me.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Holy
Bye.